So I've tried to do this commentary a multitude of times now, and what ends up happening is that my thoughts just get super jumbled up. They just get super crowded, and I'm talking about a bunch of different things all at once. So I'm going to try and section off this video into different parts. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is what server we used and how I got into competitive TF2. So to start with, TF2 3 years ago, competitively was very underground and very tiny. You had to go searching for it. It never presented itself to you. You really had to go look to be able to find how to play a pug or play competitive games at all. So 3 years ago, what I did was I'd played TF2 for a little bit. I had 500 or 600 hours at this point played, and I wanted to play in a more competitive environment. I felt that I was good enough. So, or at least I wanted to play with good people and learn from them. So I went. I think it was on Reddit that I asked where can I play with competitively, or where can I learn how to play competitively, and I found this rinky-dink. Someone linked me this rinky-dink little website that you had to connect to your Steam account. It was super sketch, super ghetto, and you would connect to it, and you could queue up for whether you wanted to be play medic or soldier or demo man or scout. For sixes. It was only sixes. It wasn't a Highlander thing. There wasn't a Highlander option at all. So I managed to find someone somewhere that taught me the ropes of how to play medic and kind of what the standard was for competitive TF2. And this was back when maps like Snakewater was only a competitive map. You couldn't play it casually at all, except for people that had private servers that ran it themselves. So it's my first time that I've ever seen Snakewater. And it was my first competitive game ever, and I'm playing in a pug with all of these UGC silver level players, which was really cool. After playing, I think I did that for 2 or 3 weeks straight, and it just so happened that I did this, and it coincided right with when the next UGC silver season was. I think I played in UGC silver season 8 or 7 or something like that, and there was a guy named Prower that was a soldier pocket that invited me to his team because his team needed a medic. They had lost their medic from the previous season or something like that. So they brought me on and they taught me a lot of good stuff, and I played with them. Honestly, I don't remember much about the season at all. It was pretty. I don't remember much about the meta. I wasn't huge into the strategy. I was mostly focused on making YouTube videos, and I was a teenager. I was 16 or 17, so I had a bunch of other stuff going on. I really would just play when I could, play some pugs here and there, and then show up for matches and just try to heal people and not die for the most part. I think what was really cool about the website was just how I can't describe to you just how underground competitive TF2 really was. There was no spotlight for it at all. I mean, there was a little community, but people didn't stream on Twitch at all. That wasn't a thing. The only media coverage that TF2 had was Germa, Star, and a couple other starter up websites that tried their best. And people searched for TF2 content for everything. You could upload a video then and not post it anywhere, and it would get 300, 400 views. Just stock. I uploaded I had a TF2 channel, and this is where I'm going to start getting into that. I would upload, I go back and watch some of those old videos that I uploaded, and they're garbage. They're awful. And I try so hard now. My content is so much better than it was back then, and it doesn't do a tenth of as well as it did back then when I was uploading just the most garbage content ever. People ate up TF2 content back then. But yeah, so that's kind of what competitive was like. It was just a couple of us. There was maybe 100 people, and that was UGC silver and plat combined. I'm being generous saying there was 100 people that were on this website that would actually do pugs and play competitive TF2. There were not many people at all. And there were 2 levels. There was 2 levels of gameplay. There was UGC silver and all the starting players, and we were all in in the top portion of the website to queue up for games, and then there was a second game going on. We would each have 2 games. So the regular players would have 2 games, and then usually there was only 1 game ongoing at any given time of the plat players. So when you'd queue up, you would see in the plat game there would be Shade, Banny, Tag, Star, and a bunch of other people. like all queued up for a game, and like for plat, and then it would be like me like right above them, like queued for like a silver game. And I was getting pretty good at it. I got to the point where like I had some people that were like looking at me for plat. I had like some of the admins of the website were like looking at me like, okay, he might be able to hold his own in like a plat game. You know, that might be okay. Maybe we'll give him a shot. I was pretty excited about that, but I mean, life just got in the way, and I just pretty much quit TF2 at that point. After that season of UGC Silver was over, I don't really even remember how we did. All I remember is that we, I'm pretty sure like we made it to playoffs, and I think we won like our first round of the game, and then we like lost after that, and we got like knocked out or something like that. Like I said, I don't remember much of the season. I just enjoyed like the atmosphere and playing competitively, just like for the fun of it. And that was my first time ever playing competitive video games, and it was really awesome. But the scene was nothing like it is now. So next part of the video is gonna be like YouTube. So like I said, so like YouTube was kind of a completely different monster back then. People just like ate up any kind of content that you came out with. Like there was like a summer update video that I uploaded that was just like me just like talking about items. I was literally like just reading off the Wikia page of what the changes were for like 7 or 8 minutes in my like high-pitched like voice with like my it was literally like I had a Mac at the time. It was my mic that was attached to my monitor is what I was like talking through. Just like horrible, awful quality, and it got like 1,000 views. It did amazing. It did great. And then I actually made a competitive medic tutorial, which like at the time there were like 3 competitive medic tutorials like in total on YouTube. Like if you search like competitive medic tutorials, there's like 2 for like 5 years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 from like 5-6 years ago, and then it's like mine from like 3 years ago or something like that. If you like look on YouTube, like it was literally like I had like one of like 2 or 3 guides, and it's still up to this day. I think I sounded super awkward at the time, and like I watch and I cannot watch that video to this day. I'll link it in the description if you guys want to see it, but I can't, like to this day I cringe when I watch that video. It's just like my like the way I talked, it just all of it just bothers me so much. But that's fine. It's part of growing up. But like, and a lot of those videos I have that are like they're just unlisted now. I think the last 2 videos on those channel too, like it was literally just me and like 4-minute gameplays, just like running around talking about nothing and like accomplishing nothing, and they got like 150, 200 views or something like that. And I don't even link those anywhere. I didn't put them in the Reddit page. I didn't do half of the things. I'm not like trying to find people on Twitter, or I didn't have a Twitter. I didn't use Reddit. Like that was just stock, like me uploading a video, which was crazy back then. Like the community was so much, I don't want to say bigger, but it was like more active, if that makes sense. And that's kind of what I want to say about like TF2 now is like everybody's like, I see it in like games all the time. Like everyone's always like complaining about the game and like, oh, typical, I loaded into a map and this happened or that happened, and oh, like this game isn't what it used to be. What's becoming of TF2? Man, this game has been like this for the past 3 years, man. I came back, there was almost like I almost after a week of playing am like completely back to my original skill level. The only things that have changed in this game is like the maps that people prefer more now compared to when they can like preferred them more back then. The competitive scene has changed a little bit with the addition to what I hear now from my coaches as pocket scouts are kind of sort of a thing, and a couple of other little things that have changed. But honestly, like the community, there's more hackers now than there used to be, but I even feel like people are now more aware of that, and I'm starting to see them less. There are days where I see like 2-3 hackers, and then there are like I think I haven't seen one now for like 4 or 5 days, you know. So it's just a toss-up as to what you see. Like those are the only big differences that I notice. The community is the same. Everyone still complains about every single little bad thing that happens. You know, every little like decision that Valve makes is ultimately scrutinized. But the thing is like the TF2 like community that like makes content is small. It just is. and they're working on content. They care about this game, like straight up. This game is the same that it was 3 years ago, except for it's freshened some things up for me. And honestly, it's one of the better communities out there. I honestly believe that. Like, I played Dota 2 competitively after TF2, so I had to leave like gaming itself. Like, there was, I think, 4 or 5 months where I just didn't get to game at all. Real life caught up with me. I turned 18 and life kicked in, and that's when, you know, I had to go to work and had to like figure my life out and get things going. And when I came back and I had some time to do stuff again, I started playing Dota 2 a little bit. I started playing EVE Online again, which is my other game, and it's actually where my name now comes from. And like, this community, I don't know if anyone ever played a game of Dota 2? Have you guys ever like played a game of like anything else? Like like, communities nowadays, especially these competitive communities, really competitive communities, like Dota 2 is the one that I can definitely stick up for. Even EVE Online to a certain extent. These communities are nasty. They're like, they're brutal. Like, they're like, in Dota 2, it's impossible. It's like once in a blue moon that I have a game where someone doesn't like flame me for something. And for anything. Like, there are games where I'm like, I played flawlessly. I probably did the best that I possibly could have done. I put in maximum effort, and like, I'll get flamed for something, or someone on my team does, or there's someone feeding down mid, or just having a bad attitude, you know, like. And that's the great thing about this game, and that's why I've like switched to it. Like, that's why, like, oh, the dead TF2 game that's just as dead as it was 3 years ago, by the way, that I've now switched to from Dota, and I like barely play Dota anymore. Like, I only play Dota like when my friends are like, hey man, like, come on, come play a game with me. And I was like a tier 3 Dota 2 player. I was literally like playing like in like tournaments and stuff, like like literally at the point where like if my teams had played a little bit better and like certain attitudes had changed and like I had done some things differently, like I would have won money playing Dota. And I'm here playing TF2 because this community is just that much better. It just is. Like, I can jump into a game and just die horribly to this soldier like this and not get flamed by my team. You know, I can have fun. I can do whatever I want to do, and I can make videos. And people are great. Like, everyone that's been on this channel, I cannot thank you enough. Everybody, for all of your support, for all of your help. I've had people hit me up and be like, hey, I reach out to people and they're like, yeah, dude, of course I'll make you a banner. Like, give me like 2 or 3 days. Like, and then I'll be like, please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Like, this is awesome. Like, people don't do that in other communities. People will just tell you to F off. You know, if I ask for anything in Dota, like, someone would be like, go figure it out, moron. Like, I'm not helping you. Like, people just don't do that in those games. Like, this community is one of a kind. And I hope you all, like, understand that and realize that. And this game hasn't changed in the 3 years that I played it. It really has. That's why all the complaining and, like, everyone said the exact same things that you're all saying now 3 years ago. Everyone was saying the exact same shit. It was, oh, this game's dying. Oh, I'm tired of this. Oh, I'm tired of that. It was the same shit. This game hasn't changed much at all. And that's the big takeaway that I want everyone to get from this, is like, funny moments like this still happen. You know, this game's still fun. It still has its awesome 9 quirky characters. The community is still great. And people still complain about all the stupid shit in the game. At least they don't complain about each other. I mean, that's pretty much it for this. Those are the 3 things I want to talk about. Just like what the community, or what competitive used to be like. Just talk about my old YouTube channel, what that used to be like for me, and then talk about the community a little bit, and just like kind of why I'm here and why I'm making videos again. Is because I think more people should play this game. I honestly believe that. It's one of the few, I feel like actual gaming communities out there. And sure, there are other games that are nice, you know. Skyrim is a nice game. You know what I mean? Like, Diablo is a nice game. Like, there's shit like that. Like, but there's not many communities out there that are actually competitive, or like at least like have some sort of attempt to be competitive, that are actually nice like this. And I hope everyone like tries to appreciate that and appreciates the relaxed environment that you can have when you play this game. And that's the thing that I really want you all to take away from this, is to appreciate this game and this community that you have to play around. where you can jump into a game and pick whatever class you want, and you can have 4 snipers on a team. And sure, people are bitch and moan, but it's not going to get you banned. It's not going to be the end of the world. Like, if I want to jump into a game right now and play sniper, I can go and do that, and no one's going to stop me. You know what I mean? People might complain a little bit, but it's not going to be the end of the world. It absolutely will not be. And I think that's like the big takeaway that I have at the end of this video. And I know this got a little bit more serious. It was supposed to be a story time, and it is still a story time, but I just want to let you guys know, like, shit hasn't changed, alright? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace out. I know this is a long-ass video, but, I mean, I just had a lot to talk about today, I guess. What is it, Friday? Yeah, this will be Friday by the time this gets uploaded, so peace out, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like, this seriously means a lot. You guys are freaking awesome. I can't wait to just have more people, like, watching and get, like, maybe a little bit of a TF2 community going. So peace out, guys. See you guys in the next video.